All right, we are back. We are at the hook of what's going on. And let me just show you the progression on this one. It's only 4 bars of music. It's going to be an E chord. Tell me what's going on. Bum, ba, ba, to C sharp minor. Tell me what's going on. Bum, ba, da, 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 da. So that happens twice. Okay. Now, there are 3 different right hand techniques that I kind of juggle a little bit as though I was improvising. Let me show you what if you're looking in the right hand camera, you might see me do a couple things and it may look a little inconsistent because it is inconsistent, but I'm going to explain the method to the madness. Okay, the perfectly clean guitar idea. So I'm doing 3rd and 4th finger on the 1st and 3rd string, 2nd fret top. Tell me what's going on, and I do that one time with E in the bass. Okay, let's just take that. So the right hand technique, I'm using index and middle, as you could see. That's one way to do it. And I'm allowing the B string to just kind of ring if I hit it. There's some B string in there. Okay, now another way you could do that, if it's comfortable for you, is to do it with 3 fingers over here. It's a little bit more proper, a little bit cleaner. That's a little bit airier. Now another one that I like to do is either with my 1st or 2nd finger is just brush. Okay. Now let me show you another thing that I'm doing here. On the 1st finger, you'll notice we're not hearing any D string. Tell me. I'm using just a piece of my 1st finger over there to mute the D string. And you can also put a finger down. Tell me. If you like. If that, because we don't want to have this D ringing. It shouldn't be an E7 chord. That would be wrong. Okay. Tell me. See what I did there is I just quickly put my 2nd finger down. So this is kind of a defensive way to play. You've got to really mute the strings that you don't want to hear. You may not hear those strings at home, but if you're ever, or you might not hear it when you're playing it, but if you were to record yourself or play through an amp or play through a PA system, those open strings are just ringing at a very low volume, so you'd find that you need to control that. So we really want to limit the sound coming through to those top 3 strings. Matter of fact, here, what I'm now doing, I'm kind of almost playing both the 5th and the 4th string. That's another thing you can do. Okay. So let me show you how we're going to do this first phrase as we come out of the pre-chorus. Okay, so we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next, tell me what's, and now when I slid up, I put my 2nd finger on the C sharp. Okay, now we're going to leave that there. Gonna what's, do a pull off with the 1st finger, then switch to our 5th in the bass. See how I did that? Tell me what's going on. I'm still looking for the best way to pull this off with my right hand. This happens to be a piece where I listened to the YouTube video and I really like how I played it, but I recorded it a couple years ago and I've never played this one live. So hopefully with the inspiration from making this lesson for you, I will start to incorporate it into my live repertoire and a fingering will solidify. But that's the musical idea with E in the bass and with C sharp in the bass. You can throw a B in there if you want. Okay. So what I'll do now, that was an example playing. I will play the last phrase of the pre-chorus and I will then play this hook nice and slow for you. Okay? Here we go. Here we go. And then we're at the next section, which I call the interlude. All right, so let's go to the next lesson, which is the interlude. All right. All right, we're back, and we are at the interlude of what's going on. And this is a really cool section of the song. It's on A minor 9. Okay. And I'm going to show you two versions of what I play during the A minor 9 chord. The entire interlude is 12 bars long. It's 8 bars of the A minor and then 4 bars of B sus. So what we're going to do in this video is do the first version of the A minor 9 idea, or maybe both. Let's see how the lesson goes. The main thing that you got to know in this section, and I recommend listening to the original, is just the melody. So I'm just going to play the melody with a A in the bass. And it's whole notes and half notes. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now that wasn't very groovy. Let me sing it for you because it's groovier when I sing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and that should be a high. That's it. And then we're in the B sus. Okay, so right out of the gates, what I try to do in the bass, I try to do our clave rhythm. I go bum bum bum, A E, as much as I can. Bum bum bum. Maybe I'll go A. Maybe I'll just do A E, but that's sort of the idea of what's going to happen in the bass. So this is nice. We have open strings we can use in the bass, and we're going to harmonize that melody with chords, okay, with voicings. Now I'm going to give you the idea that I didn't do first, because then you'll see what I did do. It's based on this. Let me show you the voicings. Top 3 strings. And with the pinky, A minor 9. This is all over A minor, so it might look like different triads, but the whole thing is just A minor. Okay. Then 8th fret, a looks like a D triad up at the 10th fret. Now watch this. We're going to do a 4-string voicing. Okay. Come back down. Okay. 3rd fret looks like a G voicing. Okay, I'm going to do this in time for you. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and ba ba. Now you can, I played that very clean. You can improvise and make as much color with your right hand as you want. Now I lied to you. I told you in this video I was only going to show you the first version. But since it's based on this, I think you can handle it. And I think I don't think this has been too long so far. We're at about 5 minutes right now in the lesson. So the idea that I turned this into was basically to do all these chords with the B string open. And it's on some of the chords it sounds great. On other chords the B string can get a little bit too loud, because the open B string is going to be louder than these fretted notes. But once again, we get that breath of fresh air kind of sound. Let me show you. And there's one exception down here. So watch. So instead of this, I'm going. Right? Now, same. Now up here, I still like to do that voicing. You could try it with the open B. It's kind of nice. In fact, it's very nice. Okay. Then. Now here, I do something a little different. We did a G voicing. I'll do it with a C over here, because there's no sense in doubling the B. Okay. I've even, my own weirdness, sometimes I grab the A with my thumb there, because it's easier to get a humpy sound in the bass. So I'm really just doing the ba 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 in the bass when I have the longer chords. Okay. 1, 2, ready, and I might check this out. This isn't written in the tabs because I'm realizing it now that I'm playing it. I'm remembering it now that I'm playing. Sometimes I'll go ba, then I went to the 5th in the bass, right? Okay. That's a little different each time. What I do with the E down, the A down to the E, bum bum bum, bing boom, bing bing bing. It's not set. Okay. So let's do it with the closed voicings, the first voicings that I showed you. 1, 2, ready, and you'll notice that has a real tight sound to it because we don't have any open strings other than the bass strings. Depending on your playing, your technique, your guitar, that might sound really good, okay? On this guitar, I actually tend to mix the two approaches a little bit, but here's with the open B string. One more time. 1, 2, ready, and it. And there's another aspect to this that I do because it's a sort of a technical thing for me and also a musical thing because I really want to assert where that downbeat is. Instead of plucking everything on beat 1, you might have noticed something I just did. It sounded like arpeggios. I'll do an arpeggio leading up to the thumb, and the thumb is right on the downbeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the bang. 2, 3, 4. And it helps me bring the melody out. And it's just, I'll tell you, for me, for the way I play, it actually just makes it a little bit easier than trying to pluck everything at once. That's harder than it looks. Okay. So one more time, I'll do this slowly for you, and I'll try to show you that arpeggio thing that I'm doing. Okay, 1, 2, bang, 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 and here we go. So, and you'll notice I mixed up the closed off chords with the chords with the open strings. Okay, so that's the A minor 9 part of the interlude. Let's go to the next video where I show you part 2 of the interlude with the B sus chord. All right. Welcome back. We are at the last 4 bars of the interlude, and here we have we're focusing on a B sus chord. I think of this as 4 bars of B sus. Now there's a little lead in to when we get to the B sus. Coming out of the previous video, we're going to have a B flat sus. So I'm barring at the 1st fret. Okay, and I'm putting my pinky on the G. If you have high action on your guitar, this is going to be a little bit tricky. Okay, so you might want to check your action. We're going to have to do, that's going to lead into that chord. If that's hard for you to play there, down by the 1st fret, you can also try it here. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm playing 3rd and 4th finger and barring, and I'm not playing anything on the 5th string. Okay, this happens to be the way that I do it. Let me show you where that comes in. So we're now check it out. Okay, you see where that came in? Ball way down, 1, 2, 3. Okay, where is that musically? 1, 2, 3. It comes on the and of 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 and 3 and bom, bom, bom. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, in these B sus voicings, I try, as I've said before, to somehow trade off between the root and the fifth in the bass. So even though these chords might look strange to you, the idea is I'm going to harmonize the melody and try to do roots and fifths in the bass. So let's first sing the melody of this section. It's similar to the melody of the last section with really long notes. So just sing it. 1, 2, ready, and 1, ba, ba, wa, ba, wa. And then it goes to we're back in the first intro chord. So it's going to climb up a scale. I'm going to show you the voicings, okay? In fact, I'm going to show you the voicings, okay? So you might have, if you can alternate that in the bass there, okay? Then, with B in the bass, so I'm playing 1, 2, 3, fourth finger on the A, and then B in the bass. Okay. Then, watch this, bar at the 7th fret. I'm not looking at the tabs right now, and I probably should be. Let me check it against the tabs. You can do that with the 3rd and 4th finger, or the 2nd and 3rd finger. And then leave that there, and then add the pinky and strum the B in the bass. And then we've got F sharp in the bass over there. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to play that whole section for you, and I'm going to end there. That's the release. We're back in the intro. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I do the strum there of that rhythm. I go wah ba ba, and then we're back at the intro. Now that right there is not what happens in the recording. The intro doesn't happen there. What happens, it's a beautiful moment on the recording, but I couldn't figure out how to do it on the guitar. He hits that chord and it sounds like the intro, but then he sings ma da da da. He comes right in with another verse there. Okay? But the orchestra has a release into that chord, which I think is really important, because it would have sounded very anticlimactic if I would have done. That's not the sound that was needed for the guitar arrangement, because you just want that whole building thing to bust into this big E major 9 chord. Okay? So, because I couldn't figure out how to get ba 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 at the same time of that, we're just going to play an intro section there, and it's going to sound like the song. Okay? Let me play you the interlude from the B chord, and when I go into this, I'm going to just sing the melody so you can get an idea of what the original sounded like. Okay, so it goes. So that's what happened there. Okay, but we're going to do. So let's go to the next video. Actually, before we go to the next video, one more time through the B sus section, then we're going to go to the next video. Okay? Okay? 1, 2, 3. And then you know this. Okay, and then we're back in for another go round of the song. Let's go to the next video where I play through the form nice and slow, and then you'll be ready to play this. All right. See you in the next video. Welcome back. All righty, so at this point, you've checked out all of the material for what's going on. And what I'd like to do in this lesson is just do a quick playthrough of the tune. Well, actually, I'm not going to do it quick. I'm going to try to do it slow. I'm going to try to do it so that you can see the form of the tune, okay? And it's basically twice through everything I showed you, except on the second time we leave the repeat of, we only play that 12 bars one time on the repeat, just to tighten things up a little bit. Another thing that I want to alert you to at the end, because we haven't talked about the ending, so why don't we talk about the ending real quick. We're coming out of the interlude. You know how when we did the repeat, we went into the E major intro? I like to do a rubato version of the intro. So I'll go and I do a transition chord. I go up to the 12th fret, which is the 12th fret barred with the first finger, and then come down to the 11th fret and then put my pinky down. And so that I do a rubato intro, meaning out of time. Let me demonstrate just the ending one time for you. So we're coming, this is the end of the tune. Ready, and And if you don't like the whole intro there, you can vary that however you want, as long as you get out of it logically. For example, you could do, sorry. And you could end there. I just threw that on, okay? I have a feeling the way I end that is going to develop in the future. I'm not 100% settled on that ending. I believe on the original recording, they just keep vamping on the A minor interlude over and over, and they do a fade out, which, of course, doing a fade out solo guitar is a little bit tricky to do live, so that's why I came up with an ending. So here we go. I'm going to play the entire form for you. I'm going to try to do it slowly and carefully. I'm going to do my best to play this. And, you know, especially in that part, I might do some variations on the fingerings because I kind of just tend to grab whatever's in my mind at that point. It's not quite cast in stone. That's one of the sections. That's one of the sections you're going to have to iron out your best fingering to, okay? So now that I've gotten rid of all the disclaimers, let's do the tune, okay? A 1, toot, ready, and. Now here's the repeat. We repeat the whole thing from the top, and here we go. Alrighty. So there you have it. That's my arrangement of what's going on. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson, and please be really kind to yourself. This is a piece that sounds easy, I think, to listeners. I think it sounds easy because it's so open and groovy, and it's very tricky. It's a lot of left hand trickiness. So be really gentle with yourself. Keep your eye on that clave rhythm, on the boom, 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 bap, bap, boom, boom, boom. Listen to the original. And, you know, one of the keys of when I work on something like this may sound very lofty and very advanced. I try to think of the overall sound and feeling of that what I call that sort of fresh air, that breezy feeling. So I'm not even, I'm kind of have that in mind, and I intuitively feel my way with stuff like. It's a little bit different technically every time because I'm trying to catch that wave of that open sound, trying to, the vibe of the tune, if you will. So sometimes it's going to mean a more open kind of strumming. Sometimes it's going to mean more syncopation. You know, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Okay. There's no one right way to play this. Alrighty. So thank you for watching. God bless. Enjoy working on this one, and I can't wait to hear your version of what's going on. All right. Take care.